Hey ho, it's time to dish with D. That's me, that was weird. All right, today I'm coming at you with, I want to do eggnog, but I want to make my own eggnog. Never made eggnog before, not a real huge fan of eggnog because I don't like nutmeg. So I want to make it with cashew milk because they have almond nog in the store. Now I could just use almond nog, it'd be perfectly acceptable, but I'm all about the cashew milk. So I thought, let's try doing it with cashew milk. How bad could it turn out? I think I'll like it because I love cashew milk. So I thought I'd share that with you. Let's get our magic bullet because you could use a blender, but I'm going to use my bullet because it's just more convenient, honestly. Okay. We're going to take I have plain cashew milk because I'm going to add vanilla. So I could have used the vanilla, but I just thought, you know what? I do think I get more uses out of the plain than I do the vanilla because I could put it in things like mashed potatoes and things. And let me tell you something. Nobody notices as it's in there. All right, we need 2 cups. The written recipe will be on my recipe blog. It's in the description box, dishwithd.blogspot.com. So have no fear. Some people don't realize that that's there. So don't feel you have to sit there and write everything down as I'm doing it because you don't. Okay, now I'm going to add the vanilla afterwards because I don't like to, even though it's not going to come to a really hard boil, I'm just going to add it afterwards. I just feel better doing it that way. 2 eggs. Sorry about that. Get a little shell in there. It'll get blended out. All right, I need a 1/4 cup of sugar, but of course, I don't have it. Wouldn't be a video if you didn't forget something. All right, a 1/4 cup. I'm going to use the monk fruit sugar alternative. You could use whatever you have. You want to use swerve, use swerve. Want to use sugar? By go, use sugar. But I'm using the monk fruit Lakanto. Remember, Lakanto is one of the monk fruits that's 0 points no matter how much you use it. Now, it called for a tablespoon of honey. I was going to use it, but I just picked this up about a week or so ago. It's called the Sucrin Syrup. Sucrin Gold Syrup and Honey Alternative. So that's what I'm going to use. I just want, again, you can use honey if that's what you have. Don't feel you have to go out and buy special ingredients. I just happen to already have this on hand, so I decided to use it. Get all that out of there. Looks like honey. See if it tastes like honey. Let me see. I'll give it a taste as soon as I scoop it all out of here. It's like a light honey. Kind of a cross between a honey and a pancake syrup. It's very light. Very good. Okay. We need cinnamon and we need nutmeg. Now, you know me well enough. I don't like nutmeg. So we will be using very little nutmeg. But you have to have nutmeg. It is eggnog. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I'm just going to, believe it or not, I don't like nutmeg, but when I use nutmeg, I use the real stuff. The real little nut pods. And I have a regular little grater here. I got this at, where the heck did I get this at? IKEA. You have a little grater and a big grater. So it's kind of cute. So I'm just going to put a couple little zhuzhes of it. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Because, again, you like nutmeg, then you most certainly should add more of that. But I don't, so I'm not. I believe that's it. Milk, eggs, honey. Well, this say vanilla, but I'm going to wait. Sugar. Okay. Maybe I should add the vanilla because no, I'm not going to add it because I can always add it in. All right. So my top one. The decision, as you know, I do these things on the fly. So yeah, I'm never fully prepared. So you need to whip this for about 30 to 60 seconds. You're going to whip it up and get it all incorporated. You don't need to hear that. I blended it for about 2 minutes. It should be nice and frothy, which it looks like it is. I'm going to put it in my pan and cook it over a low heat. You do not want this to boil because your eggs might scramble. See how very frothy that is? That's exactly what we want. We want this to get to about, I think I need the temperature down, 160, 180 degrees. But we don't want it to be a rolling boil. You want it to be a low simmer, hardly any bubbles, because you don't want the eggs to scramble. So I'm going to bring it over to my stove. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to show you what it looks like when we get to the temperature we want. All right, we have our eggnog on top of our stove at a very, very low flame. You can see it's not bubbling. I mean, it's foaming, but that's because we blended it. But it's already looking and smelling really good. I'm just getting my little whisk and just giving it a whisk every once in a while. I will show you, got my handy dandy thermometer, and we will see what the temperature is. We're going to get to 160 degrees. Not touching the bottom. Okay, we're at 139, so we're about 5 minutes away from where we want to be. Looking good. I can't wait to see how this tastes and how it plays in recipes. But yep, pretty simple, pretty basic. Like I said, you could use regular honey, or if you have the honey replacement, you know, it's not, I mean, 1 tablespoon of honey is not going to kill you when you're making this amount of eggnog. It's not like you're only making a serving. I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when she's done. Been cooking for a little over 10 minutes, and let's see where she's at in temperatures. Wait, want to get to 180? We're there. All right, she's done. Let's get her poured into our container and add our vanilla. I'm going to store it in this little plastic Chinese, as I call them, Chinese containers. But I'm going to strain it first, just in case any eggs scramble, because sometimes best laid plans. So you just want to just ensure that you'll catch any thick bits. I might have to help these through with a little help from my friend Mr. Spatula. You're going to keep doing this until you get all of your liquid in your container. You might need a bigger sieve. I do have a bigger one. That might work. Let me try the bigger one. Because the holes in this one might not be big enough. And we could be here all day. There we go. Oh, you need to keep it up. There we go. And we're just going to let this drain through. Keep pushing it around so all the liquid comes through. It'll catch anything that might have cooked. You know, sometimes you get a piece of egg that cooks. You know, we're all not perfect. At least I know I'm not. So, but this ensures a nice, smooth nog. So I'm going to keep doing this. And we'll come back and we'll add our vanilla. Okay, we have our base. Now to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Heaping teaspoon, obviously. And I'm actually going to throw a little dash of salt in there. You know me, I think salt. Just a little jigger, that's all. And give it a little whisk around. This has to cool completely cooled. And then when we go to use it, we put it back in the blender or the bullet and we whip it up again. It's supposed to thicken a bit when it cools. We shall see, because I'm not sure it's going to, but it smells good. It smells different. It smells like, it definitely smells like some kind of winter drink. Okay, we'll come back when it's completely cooled. Okay, our cashew nog sat overnight. You can see I did put a little more nutmeg. I think it needs a little bit more seasoning. But it's pretty thick. Watch it pour into, I have to whip it up again. Let's watch. It's pretty thick. I mean, it's not thick as traditional eggnog, but it's thicker than it was. So we have to whip it again. So I'm actually put a little bit more cinnamon into. Like I said, it was all hit or miss yesterday. So I'm gonna put another half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I just put a little more shakes of nutmeg and maybe a drop or two more of vanilla extract. I don't know. All right, we're gonna whip it up and we're gonna have a taste. All right, let's pour some in a glass. It's pretty thick. I mean, is it thick as traditional eggnog? No, I didn't expect it to be, honestly, because it's not traditional eggnog. Let's have a little sip. Now, again, you might like less cinnamon, more nutmeg. That's totally up to you. You can see it's pretty thick. I like it. It definitely reminds me of eggnog, but eggnog light. Hey, I would take this over not having any, totally. You're gonna see this in a variety of my recipes coming up in the next few weeks. So this is the base recipe for, I keep wanting to call it, it's cashew nog. I keep wanting to say eggnog, it's not eggnog, it's cashew nog. The points, let me grab them. I don't remember what they were. It's been 24 hours since I did this. Let me come back and with the points for this cashew nog. The points, sorry about that. I had to go back and look. The whole recipe is 2 smart points. So all I made, you saw in the container, is 2 smart points. So it was a point for the milk because 2 cups was 1 point, which I didn't realize. 2 cups of cashew milk is 1 point. And a point for the, let me grab it. The Sucrin Syrup Gold. Syrup and honey alternative that I got on Sucrin. I think I got it on Amazon. That's where I got it on Amazon. That was 1 point for the tablespoon. So it's 2 smart points for the whole thing. And I'm not, honestly, I think I OD'd on the cinnamon. That's what the consensus is here. I should stick with what I had. I like it that way, but they don't. Not that they're drinking it, but it's more cinnamony. So I'm gonna leave it in my recipe blog. This in the description box below, the original how I had it. I'm not gonna add that additional what I put in there. Leave it the way it is. Sometimes you shouldn't mess with things. Lesson learned, D. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up, and you will be seeing this nog coming in several recipes coming up, and it'll say almond nog. No, cashew nog. I keep saying almond. Anywhere it says cashew nog, this is the nog we're talking about, the one I made here. Thank you, and let me know if you think you want to try this cashew nog. Hey, it's not too bad, actually. I like it. Have a great day. We will dish another day.